What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Key, and I make storytime videos about things that I've done in my life and things that have been done to me in my life in hopes of inspiring others through life lessons and reflections. So if that is something you're into, please stay tuned, stay to this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and share it, honey, because this story right here is about to be a banger for real. And if you are a returner, welcome back. We are into our second voiceover, and I think I'm gonna do a little bit more of these. I might have some when I come back in the camera, but right now I kind of like the voiceovers. In this video, while I share my story time of how I got scammed, I'm gonna be cooking my version of chicken Alfredo. Now, disclaimer: I was trying to use some recipe that somebody sent me from TikTok, but your girl brought the wrong sauce for something, and you'll see later on, but it still came out real good. So stay tuned at the end of this video to not only see the finished results of this dish, but to hear what to look for the red flags early to not get yourself in this situation. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so the title says I got scammed. And I got scammed from buying my very first car, which happened the end of June of 2020. So this was like what, about 2 years ago or something. Y'all don't get on me, like the years just be going. But yeah, so all this was going on through the pandemic year, so stuff was already crazy. But we were already home from school. I was in college at the time. We had already got kicked out or whatever. I was working a job, and I just knew, like, I'm one of those people. I hate relying on people for things, but I needed to work and whatnot. So I ended up like catching a little job at Kroger at my house, near my house, which was like a 10-minute drive or whatever. And I just got tired. I got tired of taking Ubers, got tired of trying to rely on like people at home to take me back and forth. Like, it was just too much for me, and I get very anxious when it comes to like asking for help. But yeah, so I was working, and y'all, I was working crazy hours. Like, anytime it's like, Kira, can you stay? Like, I was that person because I was so adamant about getting this car. I was like, I'm gonna do it. This is gonna be my time. Like, everybody kept saying, well, why don't you just wait till you graduate from college? And it's like, no, honey, I was not trying to do that. We're gonna get this car before we go back to school that following semester. So yeah, I was working crazy hours and whatnot. So months had went by, and months came to the end of June. So what I did was I went on this app because I didn't know where to start. And that was my fault. I should have done more research, but I was just trying to figure out, where do you go like to purchase a car, because I wasn't trying to like buy a brand new car, because your girl was making money, but it wasn't enough to make like car note payments. You know what I'm saying? So I needed like a cash car. And yeah, so I came across this app. I think someone told me about it. I'm not even sure. But I came across this app called Offer Up. And I started like browsing, and like most of the cars that I really wanted was like in the range from like 3 grand to 10 grand. And I knew I wasn't gonna get 10 grand in a few months, but I was like, okay, 3 grand is somewhat reasonable. But because I was rushing the process, that still was like, I was like, 3 grand is too much. We're gonna see what we can do. So I kept scrolling, and I came across this one car, and I'm about to insert it. This was my baby. Actually, no, I'm gonna wait till I tell y'all I purchased the car, and then I'm gonna insert it. But no, I came across a 2001 Toyota Camry. It was green. I was like, okay, Toyotas are like good running cars, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, and this one's not far from my house or where they trying to sell it from. This, down the third, and yeah, so I was like, let me save up some money first. And the price was, at the time for me, it was good, but now that I look back, it was very skeptical. The car was only $1,200, y'all. 1,200. First of all, I'm not trying to say this, but if y'all really want to like know if that's a red flag, to me, that's red flag number one. And the reason why I say that's red flag number one, because, okay, it sounded too good to be true. So the car ran for $1,200. So I was like, okay, so what's wrong with the car? And in the description, the girl who was selling the car, she said the only thing that was wrong with it was that the bumper was like kind of messed up. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm looking, and from the outside, everything does look good. But I saw what she was talking about with the bumper. But like, it really didn't look is bad, like from the picture. So like outside, like everything looked good, but she said it had good mileage. I think it only had like 110,000 miles on it. Like it was just perfect back then. I was like, okay, only 1,200. I was like, that's what's up. And so I think I had messaged her or whatever. We was trying to like figure out like where we was gonna meet and all that. Like I'm trying to figure out because I don't know her, she don't know me, and I like I said, I'm already like paranoid with people. Like I know like with these apps it could be very dangerous and stuff. So I knew we needed to meet in a public spot. But before all that, I told people around me, like my mom and all them, and of course, everybody was scared. And it was like, maybe you should wait. Like that just sounds too good to be true. Or like you need to do a test drive, this and that. Like, which they were right in a sense. And it's not that I wasn't, like I appreciate what they were trying to say, but y'all, like, one thing I learned about myself, I'm very hard-headed. I don't like really listening to people. And I think part of that is because all through my life when I was growing up, I never had a voice. I never had a say in how I felt about things. So when I got older, it was just kind of like, I kind of like shut myself out from certain things. And I'm working on that. But yeah, I was like, no, this is going to be my car because I need a car to go back to school. Like I wasn't trying to wait. They was just like, just keep saving your money. And I was not trying to hear that. So, um, yeah. So I'm messaging the girl, and they're all like, okay, well, you need to make sure you meet with her in a public spot and whatnot. So at first, I was messaging her, and we were trying to figure out some places to meet up. And long story short, we ended up meeting in the parking lot of where my job is, Kroger. I was like, okay, if anything, like, it's always busy around there, like, and whatnot. Plus, I wasn't going by myself. At this time, I was seeing a guy, but yeah, yeah, we were seeing a guy, but that's all I'm gonna say on that one. But now he had took me or whatever because we was already hanging out that day, and she had came, and first thing I want to do, like, y'all, I was just so excited. I was like, oh, this is for real, like this is for real. But before I paid her, we test drive the car, and I really didn't like test drive it the way I want to, like, because besides this car, the only other time I really like drove a car was like a few times when my mom like took me driving, like a few times, but I never really like drove like that. So this was like the first car I got to drive, and y'all, I think I was just too excited. But yeah, she came, and I think she came with somebody too, which was understandable because we don't know each other. So when she came, she was talking to me about the car and whatnot. And let me just tell y'all, red flag number two. Red flag number two to watch out for. So mind you, she told me in the description that the only thing that was wrong with the car was that the bumper was missing. When homegirl gave me the key was bent. And I wish I took a picture of it, but it was so long ago. But y'all, it was so bent. Like I don't even know how she got it in the car. Like it was bent. It almost like somebody like melted it in the, like it was bent. But she's like, it still works. You just gotta play around with it, jiggle jiggle or whatever, right? So I did, me being me, because I really like wanted this car. Like I was fighting it for so bad. So we got the car up and going, and I think I drove it around the parking lot like a few times, and I think part of me was just nervous because I had never like driven a car by myself before. And but no, like to me it was running fine. But now that I look back, it was making like a little weird noise. But yeah, that was that. So then we get the car, and I'm like, yeah, I like it or whatever. But we playing around. I'm like, here come red flag number three. Red flag number three. Y'all, this video is long. Just know that it's worth it. Like, I really need y'all to stay for this whole video. Because red flag number three. The turn signals did not work. I'm over here pushing it down left and right, left and right. And she's like, oh yeah, that's when she was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with it and whatnot. But like if you just play around with it, it works. And I don't know, when she played around with it, it sort of worked, but it still wasn't like it wasn't working like after the fact. Like it just wasn't working. But again, me being, now that I look back, naive or whatever, and just really wanted this car, I didn't think nothing of it. So Yeah, so that what was that? Red flag number three. Red flag number four. So homegirl told me, what was it, that her uncle or her cousin was a mechanic, right? So you would just think, it's so many questions I should have went through my mind when she said that. So your uncle's a mechanic, so he couldn't fix the turn signal box, or like your uncle a mechanic, he couldn't fix the bumper of the car. Like so much stuff that went in my head because she's like, her uncle's a mechanic and he fixed like a lot of the stuff in there or whatever. But yeah, but me being all holly and jolly and crap, I was like, okay, yeah, like I want it. I want it. So we went through the process of like me paying, and that was a lot too, because I didn't realize like with certain banks you couldn't take out a certain amount of like cash right there and there. Like I tried to like cash app her, and we had to do like in pieces, and it was just acting like it didn't want to like do the whole thing. But long story short, we ended up getting a car, and I'm gonna go ahead and insert that because that was just like such a happy, at the time, a happy moment for me. So we got the car, so I'm gonna insert the pictures, and y'all can go ahead and see my baby. That was my baby, y'all. Like nobody could tell me nothing. I was just so happy. So we got the car. She pulled off or whatever, and whoopty whoopty whoop. And so, um, yeah, so the next step to getting the car is, to get the tag and registration in your name, this, that, and the third. And I was trying to get all this done because it was almost time for me to go back to school that fall. Because by then we were in July. So at this point I'm trying to prep, and I'm like, yes, I get to finally go back to school in my own car, whoopty whoopty whoop, and all of that. So I was just like so excited. And I'm sorry, y'all, if y'all hear any noise, that's me like playing with my hanger or whatever. I think I got ADHD. But anyway, yes, I'm in my car, but we got the insurance on the car because I know that you can't drive around with insurance. So we got all that together. But I think not even like a few days later after that, my mom was like, okay, you need to like go get, what is it? Go take it to emissions and stuff. And like basically all that. So I took it to the emissions or whatever, and it didn't pass. That's red flag number four, I believe. Is that red flag four? That's four or five. I really think this is five. We're gonna go with five. Red flag number five. If your car does not pass emissions, um you shouldn't have the car. But like before you even purchase the car, you need to like go and seriously like tell the person who's selling you the car, you need, before you buy this car, you need to like get the emissions done. So that was mistake number five that I made. So it failed. But then I was like, I had this idea, okay, well maybe I can get the emissions done or get the tag done in the same county that my school is located, because that particular county, you didn't need to pass emissions to get the tag on the car. I was wrong. I couldn't use like my edges for that. So that didn't work, but I mean, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so but before I knew that that wasn't going to work, I was like, I wasn't thinking too hard on it cuz I was just like, it'll get done. Like I'm still excited and all of that. So, I ended up getting a new key for the car, whatever, and all of that. And y'all, I spent like a lot of money on this car, but we about to get into all that. So then my mom was like, okay, you need to go take it to get an oil change. And I was just gonna go to a little cheap little spot up the street to get it done and whatnot. My mom had this idea I need to go to an actual like car dealership and get it done because they can do like a diagnosis of your car for real. And at the time, like I didn't want to do it, but of course I did it because like I didn't feel like hearing my mom's mouth and whatnot. But um, so I took it, but I just told them I just want a basic oil change. But honey, they did not do that, and I don't know if that was just God speaking or whatnot. I don't know what was going on, but I just know I was in there for over an hour. And I was like, I know it don't take an hour to like get an oil change. And they came back, and I kid y'all not, the first thing that came out this man's mouth was, where did you get this car from? And I said, I just bought it from some girl off, just cash out, straight up cash. And I said, wow. He was like, you need to take this car back, right back where you got it from. And I froze. I was like, huh? I was like, what's going on? I was like, he was like, this car is a death trap. And he just started listing everything wrong with this car. And y'all, I wish I had this paper. Like, I can't even lie because I was so hurt. But he started, it was like, I think the mount clamps. You also know about cars. Like, don't judge me, but like you, if you know, you know. Like the mount clamps that connect the engine or whatever, they were completely off. He was saying at any given time, if I got into an accident, I was either gonna kill the person in front of me or I was gonna kill myself. He said all of the tires are run down. He said the little box or whatever that connects with the little, what is it, to the turn signals, the one that I told you didn't work. He said that is completely missing. Like he just started listing like a rundown of things. I think I needed what did I need? It's different type of pipes. Like, everything under the hood was rusted, old, it didn't work. He was like, long story short, we found out that this car was salvaged. That's what it was, or whatever. Like anything that you can think that was wrong with the car, like, and I mean anything, it was absolutely wrong with the car. Like when he said that, I was scared to drive because I was like, are you kidding me? Like, and at that point, I'm like bawling out, crying. Like, I go in my car and I just cry. I just cried for so hard, and I ended up reaching out to a good family friend of mine. Her and her family have helped me out in so many ways, and I just started crying. And I knew her husband had worked well with cars, so she had told me, bring it to the house and let us look at it or whatever, which they did, and he was able to like fix a lot of the issues that was wrong with the car. He really was. Like, it was to the point where I wasn't afraid to drive anymore. I think I came out of pocket like a lot of money. I ended up replacing nearly all the tires. We was going to different auto stores buying different parts, and I'm about to insert all like how much I was buying at these auto stores. Like, y'all, like, I really can't make this up. And so I ended up driving it to school still. Still didn't pass emissions because it just kept saying stuff was wrong. Anytime I got one thing fixed, the engine light still kept coming on. So I ended up going to what was it? I was back at school and there was a shop up the street and they were really good people and they did their best to try to fix it as well. And so I've been like, mind you, I've been trying to. I had bought this car like late June, like June 30th, from like, I'm gonna say, from the beginning of July all the way to like November. I real deal was like using all of my checks to get this car fixed. Like, I can't even kid you not. Like, and I'm gonna insert pictures for like all this, the receipts I have, or like from my account. Like, you can kind of just see, like, I was spending so much money. So it took me months, but I wasn't ready to give up because this was my first car and whatnot. So yeah, by the time I made it, we got down to where it said, where they was able to figure out what the last issue was to get that engine light off. By the time it was time for me to actually get that fixed, on my way to the shop, the car broke down on me. Couldn't get it. Like, it started, I backed up out of the parking lot and it stopped. And that point, it was just my son, let it go. I was hurt. Told the company was something about it was gonna take they was gonna charge $100 to tow it from where I was to the shop, and I was on my campus. From my campus to the shop, it was literally like a 5 minute walk and like a 3 minute drive. So I just knew that was not worth it. So we ended up, like, I ended up calling some company to where they pay for like junk cars, and I ended up just doing that because it was just really like, it was just, yeah, it was just not it. So I'm gonna try to find that video where they towed my car, because like, I nearly cried, y'all. Like, that was my first car. But there was a lot of lessons I learned from that. And I told y'all a few red flags to look out for. Like, first of all, if your car don't pass emissions, do not get that car. But that's pretty much the story of how I got scammed. I hope y'all listening to those main points. Like, I just really want to urge y'all, especially to my ladies out there, like, because we're really like a target for like getting scammed, because they know that we don't know much about cars. Like, please educate yourself about cars. Please bring someone, if you are buying a cash car, or even if you're going to a dealership, please bring someone who is very knowledgeable about cars and whatnot. please don't be naive. Like, I think that's another lesson I learned for this that I want y'all to learn. Don't be so naive or impatient. Like, it doesn't matter like what you're going through. Like, I understand like some people like I don't like relying on people. I like to have my own things, and I do too. I really do. I like to be independent. But if you can, like, know your worth as well, because sis really didn't have to do me like that. And I'm not gonna call her out. You know, she changed her Cash App name or whatever, and I don't think she blocked me, but it says something on Cash App. But no, just don't do that, because I only had that card for 6 months before it was like bye bye. But no, I really really hope that y'all enjoyed this story time. I hope you learned a lot. It's not, I hope this video is not too long, but if you know someone that like long videos, send them my way, because honey, all I do is talk. But without further ado, make sure y'all stay tuned so y'all can see the ending results of this pasta, honey, because this was really good. And make sure y'all stay ready. I got another video on the way, and I really think y'all gonna enjoy it. So thank you, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all in my next video. Bye.